You can hear us, everyone out there in the YouTuber sphere, Facebook sphere.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah. I feel like Thursday, SHOT Show is always Tuesday through Friday. And Thursday is the day where everyone's tired.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Friday is, even though it's the last day, you're like, okay, woo, there's a little burst of energy last day.
It's the excitement of getting to go home, yeah.
But it's good that, this industry has gotten together again because, honestly, the gun industry, it's so many like-minded people that's why there's so many friendships.
Yeah.
And it's not just a simple – and that's what makes the gun industry special is this isn't a widget.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you guys are end users. We're shooters. We're hunters. It's different than we sell shovels or work for Black & Decker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's definitely a camaraderie, a brotherhood. It's nice to see everybody that we haven't got to see for several years because all the shows have been canceled.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right, so we are live. We are here at SHOT Show in Las Vegas. Gun Talk Live, welcome in. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about new stuff from Aero Precision. I've got Jeff Carson with me. Welcome in, man.
Hey, thanks for having us.
So you guys know Aero Precision, known for builder sets, AR stuff. But, the growth of Aero, is wild. And you are expanding into some new areas. We can just jump in. Tell me about it.
You mean this isn't an AR? No, I'm just kidding.
It looks like a gun. But I know this is a little hard to see. I'm sorry. This is the tablecloth they gave us. But this AR has this little weird thing that does this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so obviously we've jumped into the bolt action space. So this is our take on a bolt action. We looked at the market. We saw what everybody's doing. And everybody that's in the space is making a fantastic product, right? Mm-hmm. But there's long lead times. The cost is relatively high. And if you want to get into it in an affordable way, you're buying an action that you have to do a bunch of work on. And then it takes a while to get it. Then you got to send it over to a gunsmith to put the barrel in and all that good stuff, right? So Aero Precision as a brand always caters to the builder, somebody that wants to do it themselves, right? So that's what we did. We identified some of those things, and then we take our business model of investing in efficient manufacturing and good, solid quality and bringing that to the market with the features of top-tier brands, and we're pulling that down to a cost that's going to be really palatable to somebody who wants to get into the space but doesn't want to spend $1,300 to $1,500 on an action or wait for 6 months.
So it's a bolt action. It's the action part of it, right? Because you guys are all about the builder set.
Yep.
A little bit less expensive than probably what you might see in other places, but also you guys are really good at producing product and making it available. You guys can crank out more volume. Obviously, this is just brand new and being introduced, but it'll be more availability.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We invest in our tooling, and we're going to be able to make far more product per cycle than what everyone else is doing. They're utilizing very accurate processes, but those processes are very slow. And then our technology and how we approach the situation and the problem is going to allow us to match the quality, but get way more production out of it.
Now, there's also some other new things here that we ought to talk about. And this is a build, and this is the type of thing that you guys could do. You could build this, and Aero's actually expanding and providing a lot more of the parts and pieces. What do we have on this chassis?
Yeah, well, I'll just start with the action in general and the building process, right? So this action is a Remington 700 short action footprint. It's a 3-lug bolt, so you'll have about a 60-degree throw here. The bolt head's interchangeable, so if you want to do a 223 trainer or you want to do maybe a short magnum, we've allowed you to do that because the bolt heads are going to be swappable really easy.
Pull that out.
Yeah, you just pop the firing pin out, just move that pin, bolt head comes out, you replace the new one.
Wow.
Put it in, put your new barrel on, and you're good to go. Now, talking about the barrel, we went with a Savage small shake pre-fit. There's tons of companies on the market that are doing these pre-fits. So you have, your Bartlein, your Krager, your Proof. BA will be making our barrels as well. And so we're not locking you into a system. You don't have to go with our product if you don't want to.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of this, right? The Remington 700 has so much aftermarket support that you can really build a gun the way that you want to without having to go to a gunsmith.
And it's a good point because there are Remington 700s, as far as new ones go, not really.
Yeah, they're
really,
not producing.
They're not producing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, okay? Not right now. But they're, because it's been such a prevalent gun for decades, yeah, you have a lot of accessories, triggers, a lot of different options on triggers.
Yep, all the Remington 700 ones that we have tested have worked, so we're saying it should work with all of them. Obviously, we haven't taken every single one and put it in there, but Timneys, Trigger Techs, Geisley's, the old school Remington, Jewel triggers worked. So, you go through the list and everything that we've tested has worked so far.
Okay. And always we want to know, what's the timing on this as far as the consumers go, shooters out there? When are they going to actually be able to see this available from you guys?
We're shooting for like a late Q3, Q4.
Okay.
It's still in development. All of these products are something that we wanted to show what we're really working on behind the scenes. They're not quite in design lock yet. We're making some final tweaks. So that's our hope. But as with anything in testing and development, sometimes there's cycles that may add a little bit more to that lead time.
Yeah. So hopefully by fall or somewhere in there, you'll start seeing some stuff available. But it's fun to see the new stuff out there.
Yeah. So moving on to the chassis, obviously you take your action. I should say there's an integrated 20 MOA rail and recoil lug as well, and we'll have changeable bolt heads on this guy too.
Nice.
So to the chassis here. This is our take on a modular kind of competition style chassis. So as you look here, I'll start at the stock piece here. Yep. You have a fully adjustable stock piece, and our goal was to have toolless adjustments. We got like 90% there. There's one screw in the back here that you'll set your height and cant on the butt pad. Here we have toolless adjustments for your length of pull and your comb height. So we have a cam lock here that protects your setting, and then it's spring loaded.
And then you can just adjust it from there.
You can basically hold the button, get on the rifle, and then collapse it, set it, and then lock it in with the cam.
I love that.
Same thing
I love that you put a lock here, because it's not just a matter of push the button, go in and out. But now you're like, okay, when you're really running and gunning and doing different things, it's not going to squish in all of a sudden.
You just want to protect your adjustments, right?
And screw up your
And
your
this
scope.
is obviously under a lot more load during recoil than, say, the comb height, right?
Right.
So same thing here, spring loaded. Get your eye box, let it go, and you're locked in. You get an inch of adjustment here. We've done an inch and a half, so 13 to 14 and a half on the length of pull.
Okay.
Obviously here, this is our fixed bracket for the stock piece and the center section. We have a folding bracket adapter that we didn't make in time for the show, but one of the unique things about that is it's going to fit exactly within this footprint. You don't have a big bulge on either side. And we're really excited about that. There'll be spring tension, so you get like a fold instead of just like a floppy stock.
Gotcha.
Nobody wants that.
No.
Moving over to the center section, we custom design grip, so you get your vertical angle and a nice palm swell to kind of isolate your wrist motion.
This looks pretty ambi. This is not going to matter whether you're left-handed or right-handed.
Correct. Yeah, and as you look at the center section here, you have your hand or your thumb rests for the isolated grip positions. Obviously, this is a right-handed center section, but we will have left-handed, or we're planning to have left-handed ones. The nice thing about that is all we need to do is make an additional center section, and all the other parts and components still work. So our production doesn't really lose anything. You're just swapping the side that the cutout for the bolt is happens to be on. AICS, AIAW magazine compatibility, and then we have an ambidextrous magazine release that is tunable for your mags, so you don't have to alter your magazines.
Really? How do you tune it?
There's some variations. So there's a simple screw in here to relieve, or I guess release the lock on your adjustment, and then there's a jack screw, simple Allen key, and basically you have 60 thousandths of adjustment there, so you can really fine tune the magazines that you like to use, and you don't have to alter them in any way.
Nice.
There's a little hole here. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but so you can get up in there for your adjustable triggers. A lot of them, the adjustments are right up in here.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that out of
QD mounts.
QD mounts. Yep.
Nice.
So the ones in the back are screwed in here. The ones up in the front are functional. We have 3 points of contact for the adjustment for the center section and the fore end. So you have 2 fasteners on the bottom that are tapered and really kind of align it as you'd want it. Then you screw in the QD caps here.
Okay.
So there's 8 different points. So any guys that want to use your slings and stuff to really lock in a position or something like that, you can adjust it to get leverage where you need to.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of different options, because as shooters, and especially when we're getting into some of the PRS stuff, so many people run it different ways, and also probably depending on what type of shooting, what stage is, all those things.
Yeah, and we have a guy that unfortunately couldn't be on the show with us here, but he's much more well versed in that sector than us, and that's some of his brainchild.
Okay. Nice.
Obviously, the fore-end on the bottom's got a nice flat bottom for guys running bags. Arca Swiss is integrated full length of the handguard as well. And then we have a spigot mount up here. The spigot mount and the bag rider are optional. They won't come with the chassis. But this one is our first generation design. It'll have Picatinny on one side, and the next one is going to have Arca Swiss on the other, so you can flip it over and use whichever one you want.
Very cool.
Similar to the bag rider, it's a 2-position. You get a nice angled one, or you can flip it over for anybody that wants it, a flat.
A flat. Okay. You guys have thought of everything on this. This is super cool.
And then even down to the suppressor here. So this is the Lahar 30 suppressor. It's a 30 cal can.
So I don't know if you guys heard.
Yeah, we make suppressors now too.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of run us through this suppressor that you guys brought out. I know we probably talked about it a little bit, but
yeah, I mean the suppressor. We've been working on a suppressor for quite a while. But my mom always told me, if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. Mm-hmm. And so we were working on designs, and we had ideas on what we wanted, but just never were quite happy enough with the performance we were getting on that design. So we erased the chalkboard and went back to the drawing board, right? So we approached this in a way that it's more of like a foundation for us in the suppressor market. We wanted to, create a good standard can that's going to perform well. So this is a fully laser welded construction, kind of K-baffle style, non-serviceable. You'll have replaceable end caps, direct thread mounts, or this is our mantle QD mount. So it's a ratchet style mount.
So you have options there.
Yep. And then it interfaces with, the VG6 device with the taper on that goes with the mount.
Starting out with 30?
30 for now, yeah. And then
30 cal?
We'll probably likely move into like 22 and pistol calibers as well and do some different things. We have some plans and stuff in the works, and we're really excited about that.
Very cool. Lots of good stuff from Aero. But we do have to do, can we do a little story time, Jeff?
Sure.
All right, story time. All right. So they walked up to our booth, and they said, we have a present for you. And it is a GoPro 9. Michael, our crew's like, yes! All right, so here, why in the world would the guys from Aero bring us a GoPro? All right, story time. Last year, you guys came down to Louisiana to do a little filming with us.
Oh, yeah. It was a blast. Literally.
It was literally a blast. I think you know where this is going, but you don't know how it happened. So obviously we use GoPros for a lot of target cameras, stuff where we put things downrange, still trying to be safe, to capture the moment. So we had a GoPro set up. What do you say, Jeff? Maybe how far above the target?
It was 3 to 5 feet, somewhere in there.
Yeah, three to 5 feet above the target.
Something you should never shoot.
A safe distance. We also had a new red dot sight out on the range, and what happened was we had a tactical Tommy guy come up and was like, holy crap, I want to see that new red dot. And then he proceeds to go over to one of the tables and rack it on the table and all this stuff. And I don't know why he thought he would torture test someone else's stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was interesting to say the
right?
least. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But one of the guys, should we call him out? We're just going to call him Muffalata. That's another story. But his nickname is Muffalata.
Don't do the full one.
I won't explain. Never go full muff. Yeah. Anyway, he's like, oh, I want to try out this red dot. So he goes down range, and we're like, hey, don't shoot our GoPro. He goes, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be possible. It's 5 feet above, and it's tiny. So what does he do? He starts shooting, and what does he say?
2 rounds. He says, oh, man, it's shooting a little high. And then he pulls the trigger again, and pow, just an explosion of GoPro parts.
Center punched the GoPro. I could not have done this if I'd tried.
Yeah. No.
It was perfect. I know what you're thinking, but did you get the footage? No.
He literally shot the memory card.
The memory card exploded. Everything exploded. It was a no-go. So appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, guys.
So they brought us a little gift, a new GoPro. We told them, don't worry about it. It's fine. This is what they're for. They're for destroying. You use it for a year or two until you do something stupid with it. And it's the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, right?
That's why you should also pro tip, always have like 2 drones. Because don't let KJ fly the drone. I'm just saying. He can't hear me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But yeah, we just do a little story time. So, okay, the bolt action is out in the fall-ish, hopefully. What about the other parts and pieces, the chassis and the suppressor?
Both the action and the chassis should be relatively close to the same time frame.
All
If
right.
one finishes before the other, we'll likely just push it out. These will be available. I should have probably prefaced with this. We'll sell the action. We'll sell a barreled action. We'll sell the chassis by itself.
Sweet.
We'll sell the whole thing together.
Nice.
So as with anything Aero Precision, you can buy the parts and build it yourself, or we can help you out, right?
What are we starting out with? I mean, a barreled action, what would we start out with caliber-wise?
The barrels that we're going to support at launch are going to be 308, 6.5 Creed, obviously,
Yep.
and then 6mm Creedmoor. We'll look at some other calibers as the PRS segment likes to do what they do.
They're going to come
right?
up with the 5.5 lightning bolt or some
You got
craziness.
Dasher and all that other stuff too.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely investigate it as we get up to launch time. But yeah, the action, everything you can get it individually or together. So the suppressor is much closer to the finish line. We're hoping with all the final changes we're doing here that we'll do it next quarter.
Next quarter. All right. So, and we have e-forms going. So
perfect time, right?
ATF is quoting 90 days to get your suppressor. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll almost you'll get it almost by the time you forget that you tried to buy it.
Yeah.
It's not like the Christmas present that comes a year later thing anymore.
Yeah. So price points on these guys aren't finalized. I know everybody asked, and we've actually
what's the price?
we've been getting comments on social all week about being dismissive. It's not that we're dismissive. What it is like I said, none of these are in design lock, so we haven't been able to optimize our manufacturing.
Sure.
We haven't been able to optimize our cutters or anything else. And as you know, we're really good at that. So the prices are going to be coming down. We're confident in saying that the action, as you see here without the trigger, is going to be sub $1,000. And when I say sub $1,000, this is another thing we were seeing too. Oh, $999, right? It's not going to be $999.
Yeah.
We're shooting for an aggressive target under $1,000.
All right, that's pretty good. That's better than what a lot of other options out there.
Well, when you compare the features that you have in here, you're talking about something that you're paying $1,300 for, right? So if you're coming in under $1,000, even if it is $999, it's a great deal. It's money that you're saving, getting the same features and the same quality, based on what we're going to be bringing to the table for this, to ensure that we're doing what we're saying we're going to do. That you can spend that extra $300 to $400 on good glass
trigger,
or something
scope,
else.
whatever it might be. Very good. New stuff from Aero Precision. Now you've built a bunch of ARs from them. Now you can start on the bolt guns. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Let's see what we get. Always very innovative. It's a lot of fun.